So you're looking in your Mailgun account and you're seeing something that's kind of a red flag and wondering how to handle it. In this case, we're in one of my client accounts. We're on the overview tab and we can see that there's a large red triangle here that goes along with a send that they've been doing. This is a bunch of emails that didn't make it. So the question is why? And the second question is, of course, is it something that we have control over? So we're going to dig into that a little bit. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to go into the logs for this domain. And when we get into the logs, we're going to actually filter just on the permanent failures because we want to focus in on that red triangle. So permanent failure is what I'm filtering on. I'm going to click the filter button to actually get into those. You can see these are all the ones that didn't make it. And now we're going to kind of take a look at some of these delivery status messages because this is what's going to tell us what the errors are. And we're going to see if any of these errors are things that we can do something about. Now, the majority of these things are not things we can do something about. And the one that I really want to focus on today is the one that says that unfortunately messages from this IP weren't sent. Please contact your internet service provider since part of their network is on our block list, and it's signed lovingly Outlook. So basically what this is saying is that the messages coming from this particular IP or this particular email server are being blocked, as in not even getting to the spam folder, like not getting on the email server at all. They're being sort of turned away at the door because Outlook has it out for this particular IP. Now, if this IP is a shared IP that Mailgun is providing you, then all you can do is take a screenshot of this and put in a ticket and request that Mailgun assist you with this matter. However, in this case, this IP is actually a dedicated IP that my client has on his account. And so we do want to make sure that we're addressing this situation ourselves. This is not a Mailgun situation. So I'm going to actually just grab this entire message right here, this error message, and I'm going to copy it, which I just did on my keyboard. And then we're going to go and fill out a form to get off of Outlook's block list. So I'm going to go over to the form. This is the form that you would fill out. You would be putting in all of the information about what you want to title this issue, support request, who is the contact name. And in this case, I'm the one filling it out under my email account. So it'll be my name, which domain you're sending to. All of these are just free Outlook accounts. So you can pick any of these other than other. I usually just pick outlook.com. It doesn't really matter which one you pick. You'll put in your email address that you want them to communicate with you through about this ticket. You'll select your time zone, what domain you're sending from, and just make sure you're putting in your Mailgun domain. Your Mailgun subdomain is what you're going to put in there. How would you describe your company or yourself? If you're a marketer like me, then there's really not great options on here. So I usually just select other. Please provide the outbound IP, and this is where the IP address is going to go. The one that you want them to take off the block list. Is your server dedicated or shared? And we're going to, of course, select that it's dedicated because it's our own dedicated IP. We're going to paste in that big old error message that I just grabbed from the Mailgun logs. And then we're going to put in the URL of our client's website. One little caveat to this, when you put the URL of your website in there, make sure that your website has an adequate footer on the bottom of it with a privacy policy, because that is one of the things they're going to be looking for is how are you telling people that you're going to handle their data. I'm going to cut over to a form that I've already completed so you can see what it looks like. All right, so we've filled out the form. I have all of the information in here, including the URL of my client's website. Here's the outbound IP that we're wanting them to delist. Here's the message, the error message that I had copied and pasted into this spot. Here's the URL of the client website. And so now we're going to go ahead and submit that. And then you're going to see a thank you page where your support request was submitted. You should be expecting to go into your email account. This is my email account, and you should be able to see these WinLV messages come anytime you submit one of these block list removal requests. So this is actually for a different client. This is the one that I just submitted, but we'll look at what this process looks like on the other side. So this is the original response that I got back for the request. Unfortunately, it's always going to say that they've completed reviewing the IP that we submitted, and the following table includes the results. And then it's going to say not qualified for mitigation. Ouch. That seems painful. Don't worry, it's just an automated email. Our next step is really just to be a responsible, requester and put in all of the details that we know they're going to want before they decide if they're going to delist us. And then we'll get a real person to talk with us. So I'll show you that email next. Okay, so here's the email that I wrote back. Thank you for reviewing this IP for us. This IP is used by a single company to send occasional marketing and transactional emails to their existing list, which is true in this case. All of the contacts have filled out a form form on the website requesting information. You want to be able to specify some level of opt-in on here. If you're sending cold email, I would not recommend that you lie about that, but you're not going to have a good time getting delisted either. And then you're listing the website again, and then you're saying a few things that you know they're going to want to know. One of them is that how much you're sending and that it's not cold outreach and it's not spam. The other one is whether or not you're complying with CAN spam requirements. So you do have a full footer with an unsubscribe mechanism in place, which immediately marks the email contact as a do not disturb in compliance with CAN spam regulations. Some of their clients, and you want to plead your case a little bit. So here you're going to say some of their clients and or prospects in active sales discussions have Microsoft or Outlook email accounts and they're not receiving the emails they are expecting. And then you ask them to just let you know if there's anything else that they need from you before they can delist. And within a very short period of time, usually same day in my experience, the next email will come. So I'll show you that. So here's the response that I got back. And this time, this real person has kindly responded to me to let me know that they have implemented mitigation for my IP, and the process may take 24 to 48 hours to replicate completely through the system. So good news, I am going to be delisted in this case, and this is a pretty standard 3 email series that's going to happen anytime you're requesting to delist. Just be careful about making sure you're getting them all of the information that they need to be able to make that decision quickly, so you don't have to go back and forth with someone on whether or not they're going to delist you. Here's my recommendation. No doesn't mean no. It just means that you have to dig a little further and make sure that they have what they need. Now, congratulations, you're going to be delisted.